Welcome into KSU Nation, the best K-State and Big 12 podcast out there. I'm Stevie B.
And I'm Kenny G.
Woo! We're here to talk Big 12 Week 7, give our picks. Starting us off right Saturday morning, 11 a.m., UCF traveling to Cincinnati, who should be ranked, in my opinion. Cincinnati favored by 10.5, over under 54.5. Kenny, your thoughts on this game? What's your score?
Steve, I would have never said this before the season, but man, oh man, this is going to be a really, really dominating game for Cincinnati. I did not think this was going to be a game that even really mattered or anything, but Cincinnati is looking good. After their huge win over Iowa State, you're right, they should be ranked. I feel like the AP poll definitely robbed them here a little bit of their recognition, but nevertheless, Cincinnati is going to come out. I think they're going to put a hurting on UCF. I don't think UCF is quite there yet. You know, Scott Frost is, first year back. I think he's going to need a couple years to really rebuild this team. That doesn't mean that this UCF team isn't a scrappy one by any means. They definitely are pretty scrappy. But, you know, with their quarterback being hurt, and that's kind of a big deal, I think Cincinnati just has a clear advantage over here. And it says that they're favored by 10 points, 10.5 points. I'm going to go ahead and say, give me 3 touchdown favorites here. I'm going to go ahead. I want to go like a 35-14.
I love it. I'm not quite there, especially at their defense.
Heck, that's even more than 21 points. That's like, it's like 20.
35-14 is 21.
Oh, well, then there you go. Yeah, I don't know math. I don't know my math, Steve.
I got Cincinnati winning 38-24, hitting the over, covering the 10.5. Yours is hitting the under. I have hitting over 38-24. I think Cincinnati's going to get out to a nice lead. UCF might come back and score, a couple touchdowns, but I think I think they're having a pretty good season. I think they are. They should be ranked, in my opinion. They're 2-0 in the Big 12. Moving on. Houston at Oklahoma State. This is a tricky game for Houston if they are without their quarterback, which I can actually take a look at that here in a second. Does Oklahoma State have any chance in this game, Kenny?
No, absolutely not, Steve. They've got like so many. Their players are dropping like flies, man. They just want to go. They're like leaving the program. I'm not sure they're probably gonna have to go to the campus and start pulling kids out of class to see if they'll play for the team. I mean, Oklahoma State is in shambles right now, and Houston, I believe, yes, they did lose, but listen, they lost to a Texas Tech team that is arguably, and we've said this week in and week out, best team in the conference right now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say Houston's not going to have a really difficult time going to Stillwater here. And, if I'm being honest, Oklahoma State, they've been playing these other teams somewhat tough, I guess you could say, but they're not good teams. I think Houston is a somewhat decent team. I think their defense is really good, and I think they're going to hold Oklahoma State to not even a touchdown. I don't think they're even going to give Oklahoma State a touchdown. However, with their quarterback issues, I do think that Houston's also going to struggle on offense a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and say, give me and we don't really do hot takes for any team, but give me like a 24-3 victory, and I'm going to say that Houston probably gets a defensive touchdown.
I love it. I freaking love it. Weigman, the quarterback for Houston, is available for this game. It says he's probable to play. That's bad news for Oklahoma State. I do think Oklahoma State's going to put up a fight. They're the home team, but I just think Houston's better. Give me.
Yeah, I mean
Houston.
they're gonna put up a fight with no arms. That's like they're literally going to be boxing with no arms. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. I say Houston wins 27-17 with a late Oklahoma State touchdown to make it 27-17. Before that, it'll be 27-10 with 4 minutes to go. So moving on. Tricky back-to-back games for Iowa State, playing at a 2-4 Colorado team who, they're close like Kansas State is to winning a couple games. They just can't get over the hump. I mean, they barely lost to BYU. They I mean, honestly, even though they lost by 2 touchdowns at TCU, they were down 1 touchdown with only 25 seconds left before TCU scored one more go-ahead TD. They were up 14-0 in that game. They've looked better than I think their record shows. Having said that, Iowa State is a 2.5-point favorite. How do you see this game unfolding?
Yeah, like you said, Colorado comes out firing like a dang cannon, like a cannon shot out of a damn whatever cannon.
A cannon shot out of a cannon, dude. Oh my God, yes. Could you imagine?
They're like a cannon shooting out of a cannon, but then all of a sudden it just like falls to. I mean, yeah, if it was a cannonball, that'd be different. But a cannon shooting out of a cannon doesn't get very far, Steve. The aerodynamics just aren't there, so they end up just like basically crumbling. But it is a big explosion. At the start of the game, it just falls flat towards the end of the game. My biggest question is, are Iowa State's injuries going to hinder them again this week? We don't know. It's possible, but Colorado, they play tough at home. They play really strong at home, and Iowa State did not look good against Cincinnati, and they have not looked good on the road. And again, you have to ask yourself, is this going to be the story of Iowa State this year, where they just can't figure it out on away games? Not sure. But I will say, and in Colorado's environment, despite the fact that they've had a rough year so far, they still have a strong environment. They still have a big crowd that shows up, and eyeballs are watching, So you know what? I didn't take Cincinnati last week. I'm taking Colorado this week. They've lost too many close games, Steve. I'm going to say that Colorado beats Iowa State here.
Whoa. You think that
they've lost too many close. They've lost too many games where they shot ahead. I bet Deion's probably going to get on there and fix that issue. I think he's the guy to do it. So, yeah, I think Colorado's going to win a close game, 28-27.
I don't know if I'm there yet with that. I think Iowa State's defense is pretty good, though they look pretty bad against Cincinnati overall. They are without a handful of players. Again, they're still without their kicker, without a DB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and a bunch of other guys who've already been out for a while. Colorado has a bunch of injuries as well. Let's not forget. I mean, both teams play this game. I do think Iowa State is going to win this game. I think it'll be, let's go 31-28. Iowa State wins with a late field goal. I just think that I think that Rocco Beck's got a lot of Colin Klein in him. He knows how to win close games. He's a dog. I don't think Colorado's there yet, but they're going to put up a fight. They will. Moving on. We talked about it during our main podcast here, but we're going to give our score predictions and hot takes. K-State is a 1.5-point underdog, over under 56.5. Kenny, your score prediction and hot take for K-State versus TCU.
Yeah, I had in a hilarious turn of events, K-State will win this game 35-34, basically the reverse score from last week's game where they were on the other side of that 35-34 score. And my hot takes were that Avery Johnson, he's going to be rushing for 21 points. He's going to get, or I should say, subtract 3 because
18.
18 points. But he's going to make 3 touchdowns on his legs. I think something snapped in that Baylor game where he realized that this is the way it's got to be. If Dylan's not going to be in the game, he's got to be the one that's taking off and doing all the plays. So and then the defense, give me 4 sacks. Give me 4 sacks. I know TCU averages 2 sacks a game. I want 2 more from them. I think our defensive line needs to step up. I think that's the only way that we're going to be able to put any pressure on this offense. And we're at home, so we always play a little bit better at home. I think the noise, the crowd noise, is going to play a factor, and it's going to cause some havoc on TCU's offense, and hopefully K-State can take advantage of that and get back there and sack the quarterback a few times. So that is my prediction.
You talked about it during our main podcast. This is homecoming for K-State. I mean, K-State fans showed up with like the 11th best crowd ever at K-State when they beat UCF, even though they lost a bunch of games and were 1-3 at that point. I think that K-State fans are going to show up again for this game, make it rowdy and tough for Hoover and company. I think Hoover is kind of like draw back 3 seconds, get rid of it, and he kind of panics if it's not there. I think that's going to play right into K-State's hands defensively. As far as TCU's defense goes, they do like to run a lot of zone of man concepts off of that. They have a 107th pass defense. I like K-State to take advantage of that, specifically Jace Brown. I have K-State winning. And you talked about it in the last game. You think one team has lost so many close games, they're finally going to get over the hump. I got K-State doing that. I think K-State's going to not just win this game. I like them to win comfortably. I like K-State to win 34-17. First time all season, K-State defense gave up less than 20 points. I have Jace Brown getting 2 touchdowns and over 100 total receiving yards in this game. Helmet's going to stay strapped on the whole game. Defensively, K-State's going to force 3 turnovers. I just think that K-State, they've been so close for a couple of weeks. I think this could be a team kind of like Baylor was at last year, where they kind of turned it on mid-season, and hopefully K-State can turn it on the rest of the year and then use that momentum going into 2026. K-State, I have them winning 34-17.
You know what's funny is that you basically almost have 2 hot takes for the defense. You got 3 turnovers, and you're trying to also say that they're going to get hold the team for less than 21 points. So,
yep, I know, I'm aware.
It's basically 2 hot takes there for the defense, but we'll take it. We'll accept that as a singular hot take. All right, KU versus Texas Tech. Wow, this is going to be an interesting game. Texas Tech is obviously favored. I think every game that they play this year, they will be the obvious favorite. Kansas is going to go all the way down to Lubbock. Look, in order for this Kansas team to even have a chance, Jalen Daniels has to play the game of the century, not just for him, but basically any quarterback that would play on this Kansas team. They would have to play literally the game of the century. I can't even overstate that. It is literally, that's how much this team is at a disadvantage here. KU's defense is just not there. They're not physical enough. And KU's offense has some issues as well. Texas Tech, they're 2 touchdown favorite. I think this game is going to be a blowout, Steve. I honestly think KU is going to walk in, probably lose by, 28 or more points. I think Texas Tech's probably going to go out. They're at home. Is this homecoming for them? I don't know.
That I do not know.
They're at home, Steve. The tortillas are going to be flying, and I just think Texas Tech's probably gonna put up like 40 something points. Kansas probably put up like, maybe I'll give KU maybe 21, Texas Tech 45.
It is homecoming on Saturday night in Lubbock, Texas. Texas Tech favored by 2 touchdowns, over under 58.5. I don't know how you can hit the under for any Texas Tech game. I think KU's defense is trash. I have Texas Tech winning, even though Rodriguez, their star linebacker, is questionable. I do think he's going to play. I think you're right. I think Jalen Daniels is going to play the game of his life. Wow, 16 touchdowns is pretty crazy, though. I have Texas Tech winning 56-28. Crazy high-scoring game. I think their defense is good. I think they'll be up 56-14, 56-21 with a couple minutes left, and then KU scores 1 or 2 touchdowns.
It never feels like Texas Tech needs to run up the score. It's always like it just feels like they can get up to 40 points and then just sort of like, all right, guys, let's just coast. Let's run the clock out. We did what we had to do. Our defense will take care of it on the other end. And they just seem like they walk in, get the job done, walk out, business as usual. So, and I think that's exactly what's going to be happening in this KU. Unless KU can do a miraculous, sort of game where put on a game somehow like what they did last year, where they just shocked the world. I don't think that happens in 2 seasons in a row, but we'll see.
I want to say something real quick before we move on. Texas Tech, first on total offense and second on scoring offense. Defensively, 9th in total defense and 4th in scoring defense. So top 10 in both total offense Scoring offense, total
My
defense.
God.
That's insane. They're pretty darn good. Moving on. This is a game that might get moved up due to Hurricane Priscilla. We have BYU at Arizona. In fact, we have a couple of Utah schools versus a couple Arizona schools in different states. BYU favored by 2.5 points at Arizona. Here, listen, I'll go first here. I don't think Arizona is very good. I think their record is a sham. I think BYU is better. I don't think BYU is great by any stretch. I have BYU winning this game. Let's go 31-17.
It's hard for me to say anything bad about BYU because they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything to make me say that they're bad. It's just that they've played against really bad opponents. But just because you played against bad opponents doesn't mean that you're a bad football team. There are moments where you're kind of like, okay, this team hasn't really shown what they can do against a strong opponent yet. But again, what are you going to do? They didn't make the schedule. They just go out there and play the teams that they have on their schedule. So until I see a BYU victory over somebody that we deem as worthy of top of the pack, middle of the pack, like if they win against Cincinnati, or if they win against Iowa State, or if they win against even like a Baylor or something like that, then and did a really good performance against them, then I could say BYU is clearly dominant. But again, I do think that they're better than Arizona. I think that their defense is elite. I think that their offense doesn't have to really do much because their defense is really what is shining on this team. I think Bear Bachmeier's he's solid. I mean, he's doing what he's got to do. Yeah, he's a game manager. He's putting his body on the line. He's throwing balls that, he has a couple of interceptions here and there. But it's not bad. But yeah, I definitely think I think BYU's got this in the bag. I think Arizona's strength is solely on their offense, and it's really not even that good. And I think BYU is going to expose them big time. When you said it's going to be moved up, what do you mean by that? Just played on a different day, or?
No. They're playing at 7:00. So I think it'll be moved up to like 3 or 4 or 2.
Oof. Okay. Well, that's that, either way. I mean, I definitely think BYU takes the victory regardless. I do think that this is going to be a more lower scoring game. I don't think I think Arizona's probably going to get like 10 points. We'll go ahead and give BYU like 28.
Love it. Moving on. Last game in the Big 12. I'm just going to leave it like this because I don't really
game of the week, probably, right? Would you say that?
Game of the week in the Big 12. I mean, I don't know how you pick this game. We have them both in the top 4 in our Big 12 power rankings. We had
top
Arizona
3.
Too. Well, one of us had him top 3. One of us had him top 4.
I did.
I had Utah
top 3.
I had Utah 4th. I mean, you can't be ahead of an undefeated BYU after you get your doors blown off by Texas Tech at home. I'm sorry. You just can't.
Okay,
I do think Arizona State's pretty darn good. Sam Leavitt, best quarterback in the Big 12. Jordan Tyson, best receiver in the Big 12. Utah's got a pretty good defense. Devin Dampier has got to show out in this game. He's got to show that he has an arm, he is healthy, and he can be a winner for Utah. How do you see this game unfolding, Kenny? Because I might just go with whatever you don't say, just to be different. Let me hear it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Arizona State's defense is completely underrated. I think a lot of people are overlooking this defense because they have Sam Leavitt on the other side of that ball, who is electrifying and really fun to watch. But this Arizona defense just beat 2 elite, very
offenses,
very strong offenses, elite offenses, TCU and Baylor. They're regarded as having some of the most explosive offenses in the Big 12. They played both of those teams. They beat both of those teams. I don't know if Utah's offense is as good as those. I mean, we'll see. Every matchup is going to be interesting, and they're playing at home. Utah's at home, so that's something that you have to also consider. But again, you said it. Sam Leavitt, best quarterback in this game by far. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. I would say Big 12 for sure. Big 12 for sure. And I think when you've got a guy like that on your team, you can never really count him out. It's like having Patrick Mahomes on your damn squad. You know, you can't underestimate the strength and the importance of a leader like that on your team. And so I think with that being said, give me Utah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the Pat McAfee. I'm gonna do Arizona State. Give me Arizona State. It's gonna be a close one. I think this might potentially be low scoring because their defenses are really good. So I might want to go more around like mid 20s for both of these teams. It's gonna be like 21-24.
You know, I just want to say a couple things as I'm looking up the air availability report. I should have done it before the game here, before we talked about it. They're preparing for rain. It's going to be, like you said, it's probably going to be a low-scoring game here. Here's what I'm going to say. I think that Arizona State's defense has actually played better than their offense. I mean, when you look at what their defense has done versus their offense, I mean, they've won the last two games 27-24. I mean, K-State scored 34 against Baylor, right? And I expect K-State to score that much against TCU this week. I think that their defense is playing pretty darn good. Will their offense finally match it? Will their offense finally start showing why they have the best quarterback, why they have the best receiver in the game? Here's what I'm going to say. I think Utah's better than TCU and Baylor, right? And I think they have a better home crowd than Baylor. So I'm going to go Utah here. I got Utah winning this game. They're favored by 5.5. Yeah, give me Utah 24-20 to win this game. I like them not covering the spread, not really an upset, but kind of an upset. I got Utah winning this game 24-20. I just think that their home crowd is going to be a difference in this game, and I think their defense is going to be a difference in this game against the Arizona State's offense that should be better than it has been playing like.
Yeah, I mean, you make a really solid point. I mean, it's hard to say that either team has a distinct advantage or a clear advantage of one side or the other. You know, you could go Arizona, you could go Utah. Both picks are really strong. I think both teams are really, really strong, and this is a really good game, and I'm excited for it. It's unfortunate that it's at 9 p.m. at night. You know, like you'd like to see a little bit earlier of a game if you're, you know, a central time zone watcher, but you know, because I'll be honest with you, Steve, I'm going to be tired. Actually, I don't even think I'm going to be available to watch any of these games. I'm going to be out of the state. I'm going to be going to see a concert that was planned way back in May this year. So yeah, I planned this concert with my wife. We're not going to have the kids with us, so it is going to be glorious.
The kids, like he's got multiple, so he's got one. Oh,
the kid. No, did I say kids?
Multiple dogs.
Yeah, the kids, meaning the dogs and my daughter. Don't have to worry about them. But yes, it is. It's going to be a good time, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to watch. I'm going to Omaha, Steve. I'm going to Omaha for those who are wondering.
Who are you seeing?
I'm going to be watching a little band called All Time Low, Mayday Parade, The Paradox, and The Cab.
Oh, that's amazing. That's right. I remember you telling me about this. That's amazing. Really quickly, I just want to say two things. Good news for Arizona State. It looks like their kicker, Jesus Gomez, is probable to play, along with, of course, quarterback Sam Levitt and their tight end Chaman Matire. I do want to say, I'm sure that Utah fans already know this. They have a safety that's going to be out for the game with possibly the name of the year in the Big 12. Rabbit Evans. His name is Rabbit Evans. Unfortunately, he's out for the game. But that's an all-time name right there. That's an all-time name right there, dude.
Oh my God. What are these names? These parents need to just stop. They just need to stop.
There's a defensive tackle for Utah that's probable named Dallas Vakalahi. Love it, dude. Love it. All right.
I do like the name Dallas. That's a cool name for a dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard Denver. I've heard Orlando. I've heard all sorts of names.
What? Well, Orlando Bloom, sure. But like Denver, what?
I've heard the name. I know someone that named their child that. I'll just say that. So
It'd be funny if somebody named their child New York City or something. Like,
Manhattan, Los Angeles.
yeah, Manhattan. That'd be wild. Manhattan.
Yeah, middle name Kansas.
Manhattan, Kansas, Greeley. Which is funny because Greeley is also a county in Kansas.
That's amazing. This is spelled the same?
It is spelled the same.
Okay. We kind of went off the rails here, guys. That's our Big 12 picks. Week 7, we'll be back Sunday. We have to do it early. I'll tell you about why later. But that's our Big 12 picks, Week 7. Kenny?
Yeah. So just the last thing, just want to let you know that babies have more bones than adults do. They're born with 300 bones, while adults only have 206. A lot of these bones do eventually fuse together as the person grows. And with that being said, go Big 12 and go Cats.
Go Cats, baby.